Well, I mentioned all that production-based racing because it leads up to the project you just showed me that you're working on. I'm really excited about. I'm not as excited about it as you are, but looking at it and listening to what you're saying, it's really, really cool. So you've basically, we haven't seen each other in a while, and you've started, where you started, you're now leaving off.
Yeah,
you've got another hybrid out there.
Well,
tell us a little bit about this thing.
Is an intense project. I took my frame building to another level and our fixturing, and we have came out with a great project. I couldn't have done this without my people in my shop, Walt Baum, Zach, my brother, Mike Barnes made a huge contribute to the machine shop, and we were able to design this new chassis utilizing a 2010. You can actually use an 09 through 11 CRF 450 engine, which is amazing. It's an amazing engine. It's a 58-pound engine, fuel injected, the fuel pump's in the tank, very clean. The wiring harness on this bike is as clean as a carbureted bike. It's a very simple bike. It's awesome. It's very lightweight. We utilized the ergonomics off of the LTR 450.
Why is that?
Hands down, the LTR 450 is the best handling bike out there. It's got the best center of gravity. It's got the best weight distribution. And rumors have it, it was designed off of our DRZ 400 that Doug Gust won.
I remember that quad.
The first four-stroke and first electric start to ever win the national.
Doug should have that on a wall right now.
Yeah, I believe he has one of those, and TC and Wayne Henson were a part of that bike, and it was incredible. And I believe that the LTR was based off of that.
I think you're right.
Chassis.
Yes.
So we did utilize the plastic in the seat of the LTR. Yeah, this new bike will look similar to an LTR. It look very similar to an LTR, and be very rider-friendly like the LTR is, but yet have the killer Honda power and the killer Honda reliability that has went away from the sport. And I know because I fund a pro race team, and I know the type of money that it takes to do this. And what I've tried to build here is a bike that can be raced for seasons and be low maintenance and low cost. The initial investment may be not more than a production bike, but it may not be very cheap, but what you get out of it will be great. It'll be mind-boggling.
A lot of riders have said this LTR is a bit heavy. You've kind of eliminated that problem with this frame, correct?
Yeah, so the frame alone is nearly 10 pounds lighter than the LTR frame, and that's amazing. Yet in the motor, it's 58 pounds. I think the Can-Am motor, the DS450 motor alone, is in the 90s. So 58 pounds is incredible. This bike should weigh 360 on the line.
Wow.
And I'm really excited to start testing this bike. We have a couple built chassis, but we have not got it in the dirt yet.
And it's weird that we're having this discussion. It's like I'm going back in time. I think it was 2003. We were probably talking about the exact same kind of deal. But basically, I would think you could probably go buy an eBay quad for pretty cheap nowadays. The economy's so bad you can get the dime a dozen almost, right? Are there a lot of LTRs out there?
LTR took off huge, 06 through 2011.
That'll get you the plastic thing you need.
My idea for the general person who wants to build one of these, if they do, is you need to get an older LTR. It could be an 06. You can buy them for about $1,500, $2,000, depending on what condition they're in. Maybe more. Maybe.
Why are you buying that whole LTR? What do you need out of it?
What you need is the spindles, brakes, plastic, seat. And yeah, if you want to build a complete new bike, I have a list at the shop of what you will need to do that. And I mean, QuadTech, they make killer seats, and there's a lot of aftermarket. You can go aftermarket hubs axle. So you don't need to buy an LTR, but the easiest, simple, fastest way to do it would be to get an LTR, cannibalize it, and sell the rest of it.
I get a used one for $2,500
about $2,000, $2,500. I mean, all the time. So you can get one of those, and you'll have all the components you need to put this bike together. And the only thing that'll be missing is the wiring harness and the engine out of the Honda dirt bike.
Well, you could probably sell off some of the stuff on eBay that you bought to recoup some of the money.
You can. I mean, race teams like mine are always looking for engines, LTR engines and stuff. And people, you know, the LTR it is the 250R of the modern day. It's the new 250R. Everybody who's going fast, is either on a LTR or a 450R Honda. The 450R Honda is very easy to maintain, ride, and it makes tons of power. The LTR outhandles them all. So there's your two heavy hitters. We chose the LTR because we were going to have the great Honda motor already in the CRF 450.
And you were mentioning actually riding this thing yourself. Is that true?
Actually, I'm going to dust off the boots, and I'm going to make some appearances. I don't know where. Definitely some local stuff in Florida, maybe some national stuff, some 30 plus, maybe even some Pro-Am. I mean, I don't know. The sky's the limit, but I mean, the business has grown, so I can't dedicate what I used to be able to it. But I want to come out and show these younger kids that all the people at Walsh are dedicated to ATV racing. We built our life around it, and we want to give back to the sport and be a part of it.
And that's your roots, basically.
And that's my roots.
Those hybrid frames, that whole it's all your own bike, basically.
Yeah, I want to bring it back and be able to be at the track, and for somebody to come up to me and ask me and talk about my bike, and you know, and maybe get them into a bike like it, and show that this bike can perform, can win races, and can be reliable, and can be cost effective.
But what classes can it run in?
Well, I believe I've heard some serious rumors that the TT has reverted back to no production except for the pro class only. So if that's happened, I can only imagine that motocross is right behind it, and there's rumors that some of the heavier, bigger teams have dropped out, and if the factories don't show a 100% commitment, there's going to be no reason for these people to compete on a production bike, because you know, you can spend your money with companies like ours, and we will give back to the sport, and rather than shipping the money overseas. And I think that it is, I think it's where ATV racing came from, and I think parts of it may go back there. And if it does, I want to be involved, and Walsh will be involved. Either way, production, we proved that, or non-production, we'll be involved and we will be winning races. And that's all I can say.